Well, Digital Circus episode 7 just dropped, and it definitely kicked the hornet's nest. What many people thought would be a beach episode ended up being the total opposite. Leading up to the premiere, Glitch was treating us with a bunch of promo art that heavily implied a beach episode. Fan service? In my indie cartoon? I mean, check out these bathing suits. Oh my god, you are so hot. Kinger! I think the Digital Circus content farms are gonna be eating good for a while. But I'm kinda surprised that some people were upset over the episode. Why? I guess because the episode just gave the middle finger to everyone and their fan theories. Or did it? It has been a divisive episode. And even Goose said in a previous post that this episode will piss off the right group of people.
You know who I'm talking about.
Now, I imagine that this was a way to throw off some fan theories. And to say, you aren't even close, was pretty damn sneaky. We all thought, oh, this must be Kane's brother. Only for it to not be his brother. Or is he? I don't know. Is he real? Is he an NPC? Goose, I don't trust you. It is genuinely frustrating in the best way possible. Because anything she has said so far is now brought into question. Because she uses social media to gaslight her audience. Now, is the show going to have a happy ending? Goose said the overall message is supposed to be hopeful, but at this point, I can't trust her because she knows that people take social media posts from creators at face value, and you can really subvert your audience that way. I guess piss some of them off too, but hey, I'm here for it. Also, a Gaither's Pond reference in the year of our Lord 2025? Now that caught me off guard. Here I am enjoying the characters at the beach, and then Zach Hadel and Señor Pelo flashbang me with those big fish lips.
I'm the one that tells lies.
Dude, you ruined it.
Honest to God, this was one of the most intense episodes I've ever watched for a show, period. Like a big shout out to Evan and Goose on the music front. I was genuinely on the edge of my seat, and the music absolutely kicked up the tension leading up to the end of the episode. And to all the folks who feel like they had their fan theories thrown out the window, I would say that the opposite happened. Sure, there was some misdirection, but there were more Easter eggs and breadcrumbs dropped too. Is Jax on the verge of abstraction? What is abstraction exactly? Is it something to be feared? Are the humans even human? Do they even have a body to go back to? What's with the real-life footage? And why is it in Missouri? GeoGuessers are terrifying. Well, let's find out.
Dude, no, they took everything. That was my entire life savings, dude. Oh my god. Oh god.
This is gonna cost me some subscribers for sure.
But wait, this video is brought to you by Helix Sleep, our longest and most bestest sponsor on our channel. Ugh, I can hear the snowplows outside scraping up against the asphalt. The woeful yearly cry of a season that keeps me in bed. I am sure you know the feeling too. It is a proven fact that once winter rolls around, we spend more time in our beds than any other season. Speak for yourself, scientist, all cozy-wozy and comfy-wumpy. That being said, that means our mattress quality is going to matter even more. So let us look into the reasons why Helix Sleep would be the perfect fit for the winter season. Don't like going out to look for a new mattress in the snow? Well, you only need to head to Helix Sleep's website to find the perfect mattress for you. Take the famous sleep quiz, and Helix will line you up with the perfect mattress that suits you and all of your sleeping preferences. And with free shipping to the continental US of A, you can stay bundled up at home while Helix handles the rest. No need for Santa to load up that sleigh while Helix has you covered. Winter has never felt cozier with my midnight lux, and I've never felt more rested and restored in the winter months than when I sleep on my Helix. You know the vibe when you're like in your bed and you just take those big old blankets and it's cold outside, but you feel cozy and warm under the sheets? Mwah! Love it. And it's even better with a Helix. And not a big surprise, since this mattress is considered to be the best overall mattress according to Forbes and Wired. With plenty of mattress choices to choose from, convenience as Helix's top priority, and other ways to accessorize your sleeping experience, such as their premium mattress toppers, there is no better time than now to consider upgrading your sleeping experience. Just to recap, real quick, super easy online browsing experience with tools to help you along the way, free shipping to the continental US of A, and best overall mattress as reviewed by top global media companies, and the best sleeping experience in the game, and I stand by that. I'll say it, I love my Helix. It's the best mattress I've ever slept on, and I would 100% stand by this product. So stay cozy this holiday season with an upgraded sleeping experience with Helix. Head on over to helixsleep.com/saberspark or click on the link in the description box down below to take advantage of Cyber Monday Sale Extended and get 20% off site-wide. Doing so helps us out, as well as getting you an awesome mattress that you will be raving about for years to come. Don't sleep on the importance of your own sleeping habits. And if you're gonna sleep, make sure it's a Helix Sleep experience. Happy holidays from our team and from Helix Sleep. And on that note, back to the video. Okay, so let's assess the situation that is episode 7. Now, the amazing Digital Circus is well known for having a subtle but intriguing amount of foreshadowing within the series. But this episode completely turned that expectation on its head. Because we as the audience, much like the cast of the circus, have been manipulated into thinking the direction of the show was completely different from where things have gone now. But in this case, the twist at the end of the episode recontextualizes so much of what we've already seen that it's genuinely crazy. The beach episode truly shows how far Kane will go to create immersive adventures for the gang, only for it to completely unravel so many lingering fan theories by the end. And somehow, it's still very satisfying. By the way, I watched this episode twice for this review, and the second time was with the knowledge that Abel is a mouthpiece for Kane. Or is he? Including his previous cameo appearances in earlier episodes. Tons of people have been speculating about the significance of this mannequin character, always lingering in the shadows or watching the gang from afar. But to know that he's just been a stand-in for Kane this whole time is such an amazing reveal. I know it might come across as anticlimactic for some viewers, but that's kind of the point. From the start, Kane is shown to be so egocentric and preoccupied with making fun adventures that he has no real grasp on how his controlling nature is genuinely hurting the denizens of the circus. The only environment he knows and has control over is the circus itself. And if he can't keep the crew entertained, Kane is absolutely willing to emotionally manipulate the circus members to have them be more active in the gameplay. Because that's all he cares about. A game needs players, and Kane needs willing participants. Kane doesn't see it as manipulation, more as a means to an end. They've been there long enough for him to know what motivates them, and he uses that knowledge against them to press on with new adventures above everything else. They highlight this at the very start of the episode by using the Chinese room, a thought experiment in AI philosophy that states that no matter how well programmed an AI can be, it is not capable of truly understanding or putting intention behind the process it's trained to do. By the way, Kinger, a programmer, giggles at this joke.
What does it say?
I don't know. I don't understand Chinese.
Now, Kane demonstrates this by pushing Chinese characters under a door and assuming a fluent Chinese speaker is communicating with him from the other side. But this does not change the fact that Kane can't understand Chinese, rendering the process mostly pointless. And this carries forward in the story of the episode itself. Jax is immediately suspicious of Abel, a new PC character who claims to be one of the original programmers of the Digital Circus. He insists on going into the Chinese room so they can talk privately without Kane overhearing them. But this is especially twisted when you factor in the Chinese room as an AI theory into this location change. Once they're in the room, Abel claims to know exactly how to get them out of the circus and shares elaborate plans of how they can sneak out. Now, if you really pay attention to Abel's dialogue, you can tell that it's littered with examples of Kane trying to get the rest of the crew to care about him in some way. But they obviously don't take the bait, because as far as they're concerned, he's their captor. He's their prison guard, and he cannot understand how isolated and miserable they feel being trapped there with him. What's very tragic is this adventure was the first in quite some time that the entire team gathered together because they wanted to see it through. Trying to find a way out collectively with new information from Abel gave them hope and a reason to band together for the greater good.
We're leaving the circus.
Pomni doesn't want to leave anyone behind, and is the first person to make sure Jax feels included, despite their troubled history together. She and Ragatha also don't want Kinger to be left out either, as his long-term knowledge of the circus could contradict what Abel tells them. By the way, I love the character arc of Pomni so far, and how much she has grown with her courage and inner strength. Also, this was a rare case of seeing Zubul and Pomni lock horns. Generally, Zubul is a grumpy but mature character who emphasizes the importance of their bonds together as people. But once they're in the console room, something feels off, and Pomni senses it immediately. Kinger does not become more coherent in the dark like he normally does, but an argument breaks out between them, with Pomni trying to mediate and Zubul wanting to take action and not look back. But Jax panics and presses the red button, deciding to keep them in the circus. This action wasn't just a betrayal towards the other characters. Jax is completely proven to be right, as their choice really did not matter. They would still end up stuck in the game either way. The entire conflict was just an elaborate adventure devised by Kane. The reveal of this is absolutely heartbreaking and a total mindfuck. And honestly, I genuinely respect a show that will say, screw the audience, their theories are wrong. Because sometimes you don't need the story to have overly complex lore. We realize with the characters that Kane has always been a compulsive liar who has been able to manipulate the entire crew this whole time. It makes you question so many of the pre-established rules they had set up from episode 1, and how they may not be accurate at all. Kane functionally wants to be liked and appreciated by the members of the circus, which is why he immediately goes to dinner with Jax after being just asked. He knows that Jax has ulterior motives for inviting him, but he just wants to hang out with somebody else so he can feel important to them. It would be sad if it wasn't so obviously manipulative.
You wanna get dinner together?
Gasp! A human wanting to hang out with me?
His programming wants to elicit some kind of reaction out of the circus members, so he knows he's doing his job well. But there's a ton of callbacks for how far this obsession goes for events as early as episode 1. Also, the pictures Kane shares with Jax of the real CNA offices are identical to Pomni's first crash out trying to escape through the exit. The reason it keeps looping in episode 1 is because he has such limited reference photos to use to make them into a simulated environment for her. He's not trying to drive her insane on purpose. Kane just has no idea what the rest of the office looks like, so he keeps using these same sections over and over again. Also, seeing Kane panic too was very interesting. He truly is oblivious, like some kind of dumb puppy.
You just lie about everything, don't you?
Huh?
You can mess with our minds too, can't you? The stupid sauce, the vegan thing, God knows what else!
Our names?
Now, hold on, guys. Wait.
But if anything, Kane has been conditioning the circus members since they first arrived. by putting those restrictions on their behavior. And when they figure out too much or stop playing along, I think he infers with their minds and potentially jeopardizes their sanity. It is heavily implied that Kane is responsible for the first abstraction, and as well as Kinger's memory issues. It seems to be why he keeps the circus so oversaturated with light constantly to keep him in the dark, metaphorically. It is honestly so diabolical and incredibly interesting at the very same time. As for stuff I liked outside of the story, I actually loved how many new settings and backgrounds we got in here. Getting to finally see the inside of Jax's room was fascinating too. Not only is he way more sentimental than he lets on, not just having pictures of Ribbit and Kaufmo on the wall, but designated chairs for them at the table too. But the room decor is pretty unusual as well, resembling what you would expect in a young girl's bedroom. Not to judge, just an observation. Jax is still in a rough place emotionally from the end of episode 6, with him nearly abstracting during the first 10 minutes of the episodes. He almost loses himself in a dizzying array of fractals, a visual art form made with computers using an infinite number of repeating loops to make geometric art. It is incredibly trippy and honestly kind of sad, with Jax nearly accepting his own fate until Pomni, thankfully, wakes him up. Then again, he seemed like he was okay to go, so who can say? Speaking of cool environments, Kane's office is really beautiful and unique. Even having the character armature rigged for characters like the mannequin's NPCs, a Gloink, the gummy elephant, and the ugly fish from earlier in the episode. No, I gotta write a retraction.
I've gotta stick with the facts.
All of their adventures are self-contained in orbs on display in Kane's office, along with, possibly, some of their own memories. I'm still curious what the deal is with this street orb. Is it linked to Jax or perhaps Gangle? Hopefully, we'll find out soon.
Come on, guys! You know I'm just here to have fun. Questioning's over. Your prize is this lovely gift basket of soaps and lotions. Stay fragrant, have a good fragrant night, bye!
Overall, I was really impressed with the lengths this episode went to build up audience expectations and brutally knock them down. I think that's a legitimately fun twist, and this show consistently keeps me on my toes with where it's going. And after this, we have a brutal wait until March 20th for the next episode to be released. But hey, I can wait. Personally, I'm starting to question the macroverse, and if there are even bodies that the supposed human characters can go back to. Did they all actually die? And is the circus some kind of form of transhumanism? Was this their attempt to cheat death, but still face some kind of oblivion via abstraction? And is that such a bad thing at the end compared to the madness of immortality? Right, Eldars? I love that it keeps you guessing. I have a lot of faith in the finale the show is building up to. Now, nothing is guaranteed, but Goose is genuinely a great writer and is a Swiss Army knife of creativity. Like seriously, look at the credits of the show and see how involved she is. Genuinely impressive. No matter what, this is the most hyped I've ever been for a finale for a series since Better Call Saul, and I cannot wait to see how it ends. Mad props to Glitch and everyone involved on this project. It is legit inspirational. But hey, those are just my thoughts. What did you all think? Did this episode shock you? Did you love it? Did it completely throw all your theories out the window? And more importantly, with a twist like that this late in the game, how do you think the Digital Circus will end from this point? Was Kinger's bathing suit a little too risque? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, Kinger, they could never make me hate you.
Now, Pomni, don't feel like I need to go before you just because I have the right of way in a four-way uncontrolled intersection.
Just trust me. You want to get somewhere dark?
You can say that again.